Hello and welcome to Monza. Welcome to Tech Talk here at the Italian Grand Prix. I'm Laura Winter, and alongside me, the science teacher you wish you had at school, Albert Fabrega. Now, Monza, we are going to see the highest speeds and lowest downforce of the season here. The wings are going to be run incredibly flat, but even still, the cars are going to have to work that little bit harder to go quickly through the air. We're talking about drag. Albert, what is going on?
Laura, we know that aerodynamics is a science that works with airflow to try to get advantage of it and make the cars quicker in one lap, generating downforce that allow the driver to be quicker on the corners, to have a better braking, to have a better traction. So it takes advantage of all this downforce to push the car down. We have the vertical downforce acting on the car, but then lateral, but it's not important on this, but then we have the longitudinal force. That is what we say the drag, because the drag is related to downforce. We generate downforce, but we also create drag. And that's no good for the time lap because it's a resistance. When we launch the car on the air, that friction with the air, it generates resistance. So we slow down the car and it's not good.
Okay, well, talk us through then, firstly, the low downforce setup that we're going to see so many teams running here.
Yes. We have to say that there are different parts on the car that have different relation between downforce and drag. For example, the floor, it generates a lot of downforce, but very low drag. So it's a very efficient piece on the car or device. But for example, a rear wing, it creates downforce, yes, but it creates a lot of drag.
Yes.
Though that limits the speed on the longer straight like here. So what the teams does is where there is no or slow corners and there is short straights, they put a very high downforce like Monaco, like Zandvoort, like Hungaroring. No efficient, it doesn't matter the efficiency, it doesn't matter if you create a lot of drag because there is no longer stretch. But here, like in Monza, we need to go over a very low downforce setting, a very low wings to try to generate as low drag as possible to have a very quick car on the main straights.
Yeah, we're going to have very skinny wings in the back of these cars, aren't we? And you've got your model here as well to demonstrate. Yes,
to demonstrate that. This is a rear wing. That is the thing that limits it sets the top speed on the car. You remember the driver saying, oh, when we are in a car with high downforce, it's very nice to drive on the corners, on the braking.
There's grip, right?
Yes, there's a lot of grip, but here in Monza, it's difficult. It's difficult to brake. It's difficult for the traction. And when they have high downforce settings, they say on the straight it's like having a parachute at the back because it creates a lot of drag. So they're trying to get more speed as soon as possible because it's limited by the drag of the rear wing. So you want to set an example?
Okay, here we go. I never know what I'm getting myself in for here in Tech Talk. Okay.
Parachutes.
Parachutes. There we go. Is this mine? This
is yours.
Okay.
This is a parachute with a low downforce setting.
Okay. Low downforce.
Low downforce. There's no downforce here, and it's very efficient. There's very low drag on this.
Yeah.
And mine is a high downforce setting. You see, and yeah, it's generating a lot of drag.
We'll be in trouble there.
Yeah.
All right, let's come over here then to show.
We have to try to launch them to the same.
I'm gonna have to swap hands.
Yes.
To my better
with the same power, to the same distance, and
it's
see what happens.
Exact science.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, there we go.
We went more or less at the same height.
I went a bit over that way, but
this one
still.
was so slow.
So much slower.
But it was going straight and slow under control, let's say with a lot of grip. But this one was like boom, boom, but very quick.
All over the place. Yeah.
That's Monza. That's Hungaroring. That's Monaco. That's Zandvoort. So big difference on that. But let's move to a proper example.
Okay.
Because in a rear wing, we don't only have the profiles, we don't only have the wings that generates the downforce. We have a system that is called DRS. That is
drag reduction system.
Yes, that's it. And it's the top flap, the top element of the rear wing that is opening.
Yes.
It's reducing the downforce, but it's reducing also a lot the drag. So we help the car to move a little bit more quicker on the air at the end of the straight. And yeah, let's try to.
How much drag does it actually reduce? Can we see that in action?
That's a good point. That's a good point, Lyra, because we thought, well, in Monza you have speeds like 350 kilometers per hour, so the DRS must be so powerful there. I will show you that this is not true. It's more powerful in a circuits like, for example, Silverstone or other circuits with higher downforce than in a low downforce circuit like this. You wanna You want to
Sure.
see? Okay.
Let's do this.
So what I've done is to build a very simple rear wing with two profiles. The top one that is moving. If you're pulling off the, yeah, it's moving. So we open the DRS. This is a very low cost. We are limited on budget. But then we have created
Cost
also
cap, obviously.
yes, a main plane that you can move and you can do a setting of high and lower downforce. And here that you see is moving. I dismantled the bearings on my desk, so it's moving forward and backwards. And there we have a spring that we can measure, a dyno, a proper dyno. So we can measure how much power is pulling the wing against the air. And in a normal car, we launch the wing on the main straight at 250 per hour, but this is not the case. So we do it on the other way.
Okay.
We blow the air against the wing. So we have on a high downforce setting, and I'm gonna blow, and we will see that the wing is moving backwards because it's generating a lot of drag and it's pulling backwards. So you see, it's pulling the wing backwards. So now if you open the DRS,
DRS is open.
DRS is open, leave it down. It's moving a lot. If you could see, we are moving about
Whoa, yeah.
40 grams back, down.
Yeah, 30 to 80 or so, yeah. 50, 40, 50.
Yeah, it's moving a lot. So we are decreasing a lot the drag, and we are having more speed, let's say, when we open the DRS. Now we are in a high downforce. So let's go to a low downforce setting.
Okay.
Let's move it. I'm sure if some aerodynamicists can see these things, they will ban me forever. But
we're in front of Red Bull as well. They've already had a little look, haven't they?
Sorry for that. I apologize. So we have reduced the size, let's say, at the surface of the wing. So we should create less downforce, and we should see that the wing is not moving that backwards. It's moving less backwards. So it means that it's generating less resistance to the air, and it's moving a little bit less backwards.
Yeah.
With the same, you see? It's moving about and down. It's almost not moving. Pull it up, down. You can see the big difference. So it means that in these conditions, in a low downforce setting, the DRS has less effect on the drag than
simply because there's
in a
less
high
drag
downforce.
to be lost.
Yes.
Simply. Yeah.
So yeah, it's simple. Huh? There's a lot of drag related to this, but we are not going to enter in details because I don't know them. So just pressing a little bit forward, and that's it. But it's a very good example, I think, to understand that here in Monza with the low downforce settings, the DRS has not the same effect that in a circuit with a high downforce situation.
Great stuff. Thank you very much indeed, Albert, for showing us that life doesn't have to be such a drag at Monza after all.
No, I was thinking about to be a drag queen tonight. Well,
okay.
I don't know why I said that.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we will see you for another episode of Tech Talk in Singapore. Have a good night, Albert.
Not the same?
Not quite.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll send you pictures.